Ladies and gentlemen, wow, you're really hyped up in the morning. Jesus.
That's how I wake myself up every morning.
I thought you slapped yourself. I was like, I was gonna
Oh
start to
no.
show off like, wow, hi, welcome.
I never found that slapping myself, like, people like wake up, like that just hurts me. It doesn't wake me up.
I can't say I have not done that. I have definitely smacked in
I've
very dire
definitely done
situation. Like, I don't know if you've ever
Yeah.
had those like really long drives where you just have to like you gotta survive, man. I gotta make it
Dozing
home.
off.
Like,
Ooh.
you ever the most I've ever done is stick my head out the window like Ace Ventura style, and when it's cold, and I'm just like, ah, and I come back and I can barely feel
Alrighty
my.
then.
I can't feel my eyeballs. Yeah, hey man, you gotta do what you gotta do. Just like this
Yeah, I
morning.
hear
Welcome to Loading Screen. This is your morning podcast to cue your day up with. Yes, holy baby face
Holy
Sprout.
baby face
Absolute-
Sprout.
For those that are in Twitch chat, what's up, Mister? What? He's still using Italian. Like he's using Richard Italiano.
What? Dude, use
Yeah.
lame abs, guys.
It's
Lame
it's
abs.
Lame abs. Yes. Woo.
So I'm going to say lame abs instead of our Italian. Nothing better than starting my day with loading screen while eating Mike and Ike's like a bowl of cereal.
Mike and Ike's, who's
Mike and
also
Ike's.
one of the sponsors for this show. They actually do a great job in helping present, the show itself, as well as Zip Chair to keep our butts in line. Alex has his kind of like.
Speaking of Zip Chair.
It's kind of. Hold on, I'm gonna give Alex 5 seconds. Go for it. Go. Go. Just do it. Yeah. No one has any idea what's going on right now. Hey, just look at me. Don't look over there. It's all good. You're here for Loading Screen. This is, of course, once again, your morning podcast to cue your day up with. We have some gaming news, of course, and it can't be complete without some. There it is.
I just wanted to get a running start.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's just to show how durable it is, to how quickly it is that you could just switch around your chair to something more comfortable.
It is actually. I'm not going to lie to you. Like when I first started, when Zip Chair sent these chairs, this thing is so it's I don't know. It's more comfortable than I don't know. It's just comfortable.
Yeah, I like the lumbar support.
Really good build quality.
Kind of helps the
Dude, the
posture
lumbar
here.
pillow is like
Yeah.
God tier, bro.
All right.
But anyway, sliding into those DMs with the Zip Chair. Let's go.
Absolutely.
Anyway.
So, yeah, man. Another week. We got some news. We've literally had an update that happened not 10 minutes after last week's show.
Dude,
which
all
we're
the
gonna-
news
which we're-
drops
which
at
we're-
11 a.m.
Yeah, which we're
Or
gonna cover today,
12.
or at 12, 12:01. It happens, right? We get done at 12. It happens at 12:01. That we're gonna get into it. We have kind of like a little bit of a sampling of a lot of things going on this week in gaming. So we're actually just gonna jump right into it. We had obviously some major releases that came out, a very major release that happened, but I kind of want to bring this up right now. So currently, if you guys aren't in the know, New Game Plus Expo is actually happening right now. It actually went live, or should be live. Let's do this live and make sure that.
So I'll be honest with you, dude. I've just been so busy with so many things that I barely looked up any news. So like what? Tell me about this. What's going on?
So New Game Plus Expo is actually happening right now. It's just a slew of different developers and such, more Japanese developers that they get to just showcase, in lieu of E3 and such. They do this they do this in previous years, but it's happening today. So there's gonna be like some announcements for plenty of different games from different companies like Atlas, like Playism, SNK. I'm looking forward to one that's gonna happen real soon in terms of fighting games for Guilty Gear. That's happening for Arxis.
Okay.
They're doing some gameplay for some characters. So that's happening like literally right now. It started at 8 Pacific Standard. It's 11 here in the East. So it should be live. It's exclusive to Twitch. So if you guys want to go check it out, I would head over to Twitch right now. Especially games like your Personas and such. Like if that's like in your realm of games, you're gonna want to check out the expo because they're gonna have announcements there firsthand, especially for a lot of these specific developers. But yeah, I just found out it was happening last night, or it came across last night. I was like, yo, that is happening as soon as Loading Screen starts. So that is definitely something I want to bring out there.
We got to do a live coverage one of these.
One of these days, absolutely.
Maybe when Halo Infinite gets announced.
I'm down for it. But yeah, there's gonna be like a lot of diving into DLC, new characters, like I said, for games like Guilty Gear, We'll just see what announcements come through.
Oh,
Gun Ho, all
uh,
that good stuff.
you've been playing Observer, right?
Yes.
I'm like looking through this. It says system redo. Observer system redo is part of this.
I mean Redux.
Yeah, redo, Redux. I thought the X was silent.
No, no,
Isn't it silent?
it's Redux. The
Redux, really?
Yeah,
Dude?
yeah, Redux. Yeah,
Jeez.
yeah. One of the
I blame my
developers.
first grade teacher.
Yeah, one of the developers. Yeah, that went up, or like the developer that actually works on it. They will be there. So yeah, I'm gonna be checking it out. I would love to do it right now live, but we got other things that we actually want to talk about. But for those that didn't know, now you're in the know-how. Go check it out. Pull it up on the side. Feel free. Pop up the chat as well. So that way we're on the side. We're still chilling. But yeah, New Game Plus Expo is live and in full effect, and I will be checking more of those deets later.
Hell yeah.
In the meantime, I don't know if you guys have been following this. This is actually has been one of my I won't say guilty pleasure to follow, because it's an interesting story. Ever since I don't know, have you ever watched the King of Kong documentary, Alex?
No.
It is rather old
I feel like somebody told me. I swear. I mean, it sounds familiar.
Oh yeah, it was a pretty big deal. Steve Weeb versus Billy Mitchell for the highest of Donkey Kong scores. Like, it was a documentary about these.
Okay.
Well, they formed it as a documentary between like these two guys. Like, one's the good guy, one's the bad guy. There's a lot of backstory to it, but at the time, I think 2008, 2009 is when this documentary came out. It still holds up today.
2007.
Oh my
Very
God.
close. Good
Yeah,
job.
it was really close. I remember it because it was during college. And it's been this ongoing kind of interesting look in the world of high scores, and some of one of the most famous gamers of all time, Billy Mitchell, who's had perfect Pac-Man score. In the documentary, shows first million point score. Has to do with Twin Galaxies, who's the ones that kind of audit and make these scores for world records for all of these like games, and they do a lot of the work for Guinness. Over the past, I want to say, I think it's been a year at a minimum right now. There's been all this scrutiny towards Billy Mitchell, where his his scores have been pulled due to allegations of cheating.
Really?
A lot of people from the community are coming up, and Guinness dropped his records. Twin Galaxies, who's now is owned by Jace Hall, former of Echo Fox and such. I'm sure you guys are aware of who he is. Recently has had his he's been in an ongoing litigation against Guinness and Twin Galaxies and all. But recently, they made a statement from Guinness World Records that they're reinstating Billy Mitchell's scores, which is really interesting because these are not allegations. This is a guy that's built his entire life, his career, his brand, everything over what he has done. And I think yes, he is very much a gifted gamer. But there's like, when you start going past that, there is so much in the weeds, so much interesting stuff that's there of people that have reported scores before him. That people just never made a story of. There's allegedly, I want to say, because there's been all these statements that have come out that there's been a perfect Pac-Man score that already came out, or it was like a Donkey Kong score that already happened before he did it. But the story is that because he did it, now it's news, versus Joe Schmo from wherever East Ohio did it. Who cares? It's crazy, man. It gets into there's intimidation, there's blackmail, there's
always blackmail,
there's
always
cheating, there's what is it called, influencing. It gets pretty wild. There's wars that he's had between him and certain YouTubers and stuff like that are calling him out for it. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it gets wild. So when I saw this, I was like, oh my God, what new evidence has come up? But if you actually read the article, Guinness is the only one that's instated his scores. Twin Galaxies has not, which is kind of weird, because Twin Galaxies is they're the ones that do all that work, auditing and making sure these hundreds of VHS tapes that show up, which yes, there are still VHS tapes that are recorded, these world records on, that are audited and looked at and then verified, yes, this is correct. And the reason why I bring it up is because, you know, he got caught with, like, there was evidence stating that he was using MAME. He was using emulator to achieve scores and the video and such. And there's been all this evidence that came out to it that it's like literally impossible for the way this one screen like loaded up from top to bottom. Like, this is how in depth these guys are. It's fucking crazy.
Wow, they're like they're going wow.
Yeah. And that's
Like,
how
that's dedication.
that's what started this whole incident. But like I said, Twin Galaxies, you know, they have not reinstated him. The reason Guinness did is because they're stating that let me see, let me just verify to make sure I see their actual statement. It's like written. It's like one of these paragraphs.
I'm so surprised. Like, damn. So they're like really looking like deep into this.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
So what's the TLDR here? Like they're stripping him of his.
Well, he was stripped. They've reinstated his scores, but the reason behind it is existing evidence and newly sourced eyewitness testimony, plus some new expert gameplay analysis and hardware verification was reviewed before reverting the decision. In the end, we found that there just wasn't enough sufficient evidence to support the disqualification across the board. That's from Guinness. Jace Hall just replies with the Kermit T meme, like, you know, none of my business. Like, he's not reverting that. But there's been litigation. He was trying to sue Guinness. He's suing Guinness. He's suing Jace Hall. He was suing YouTubers for defamation, which, like, some of the things he was standing on, just like, I don't think would even make it through court in my personal opinion. But it's been just this ongoing drama that, like, I've been following for like a minute. And
I mean, it sounds like it's got all the makings of a good drama.
Yeah, it's wild, and it all started from things like, you know, like I said, the King of Kong, which I suggest anyone who hasn't had a chance to go check out that documentary.
I'm gonna check it out. I might put it on while I'm editing or something.
It is actually awesome. But yeah, I saw. It's everywhere. I think you can get it on YouTube right now. Like, I think it's on YouTube for free.
King of Kong.
Potentially, it's been out for a very long time.
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
Cool, check it out.
So I suggest, anybody wants to check it out, go do that. But yeah, I'm kind of keeping a close eye on this. It's been ongoing for a while, and it's just so entertaining because I'm just like, oh my god, the guy, like, just some of the personalities behind this. It's like you think it was written. Like, there's like no way.
Oh, really? Yeah.
The way some of the statements, some of the things that people have done, or how people act, I'm like, there's no way this is real, and it is. And I'm not saying that because it's like funny. It's just like it's mind blowing, because to some people it's like this is their life. Like these games and world records and the aspirations, like that's what they built their lives around. Yeah, it's insane. Yeah. It is absolutely bonkers, and it's an entire scene in itself. Which was also awesome to watch, because then you get to see like what it takes to be like a world record holder. That's like the big thing. Yep. Ever since, you know, you'll see other things like Todd Rogers and stuff, which that's another name and a whole other article in itself that we won't get into, but you'll start seeing these things.
All right. Maybe I'll watch this today.
But the one thing you ain't gonna start seeing is apparently Cyberpunk 2077, because it has been delayed again.
Let me ask you. What are your initial thoughts when you saw it?
I'm the first thing I'm wondering is why. So
like, I've heard rumors.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna pull up the actual tweet. See, I gotta love the first reaction. The first reaction, right? It's fine. It's okay.
That's literally me. Okay, let's see.
All right. So I'll just read it verbatim, so that way.
Yeah, just read it. Let's go.
Those of you, by the way, don't make fun of my second grade reading capabilities, guys. English is
I'm
not
the same
my
way,
first
dude.
language.
Listen, if you want to tag team it, by all means.
All right. Those of you who are familiar with the way we make games know that we won't ship something which is not ready. Ready when it's done is just not a phrase we say because it sounds right. It's something we live by, even when we know we'll take the heat for it. At the same time, we are fully aware that making such a decision costs us your trust, and trading your trust for additional time is one of the hardest decisions a game developer can make. Despite we think it's the right decision to make. We'd still like to apologize for making you wait longer. Our intention is to make Cyberpunk 2077 something that will stay with you for years to come. In the end, we hope you understand why we did what we did. It's so they just go on to say Cyberpunk 2077 is finished both in content and gameplay wise. The quests, the cutscenes, skills and items and adventures Night City has to offer. It's all there. But with the abundance of content and complex systems interweaving with each other, we need to properly go through everything, balance game mechanics, fix a lot of bugs. A huge world means a huge number of things to iron out, and we spend additional time. Okay. All right. So, gist of it, they're like, listen, it is done, but we want to iron all the wrinkles. Respectable. Understood. And it's kind of funny because it aligns with something I literally just watched, like another documentary. I don't know if it's me, but I've been on a documentary like
I was gonna say you've been watching
craziness lately. I just watched Raising Kratos, which was the documentary about the latest God of War and that entire
That's badass.
From the beginning to end, like them moving studios to them reviving it and the entire process, which was like, I love the God of War series. That is very close to my heart. And God of War, when that dropped, was insane. And I didn't even know, it must have slipped my mind. I didn't even know that God of War was delayed the way that it was delayed. And it was quite literally for the same reasons that Cyberpunk is talking about. They had things like bugs that they had to fix. They were like, we have currently 2,000 something bugs we need to fix. And then they were like, okay, now we're at like 1,000, but we need to make this deadline. Like, we have to ship it.
That's insane.
I was just like, wow. Like, the sacrifice that needs to be made. And I can only imagine what CD Projekt Red is only feeling is the same thing. Because them announcing to delay it. I mean, Cyberpunk's weird because it's like not just once, it's twice now, right? Like, that's a lot. One is already a lot to ask for from gamers, right? Like, 'cause we are not the patient type. Like, yo, just put the game up. Twice?
Let me say this. Yes, I'm a gamer, so yeah, I'm a little upset. I should have been playing this now, right? And I should have, and like I had to look forward to it in September, right? But I'm gonna be dead up honest with you, dude. The amount of times that I've been mad for a game being delayed versus the amount of times that I've been mad about a game not being finished, like I get way more upset when I end up playing a game that is not finished. And I have so much respect for CD Projekt Red after The Witcher, so much respect for them, that if they actually did push this game before it was ready, it's like in my eyes, they're one of the greatest game companies out there, right? The story, the lore, the way, the storytelling alone, the world building, like, dude, The Witcher is an insane game in my opinion, and the fact that they have delayed this not once but twice now, I think to me it speaks volumes. Like, I think gamers would be much more upset if if they launch this way too soon. Like, let's say September is too soon, right? Like, clearly it is. If they launched that on September and there were bugs, like, they'd be getting heat. Whereas they're going to wait till November to kind of smooth it out and then release it. Like, and if they need more time, if it goes into 2021, like, yeah, I'm sure they'll get they'll get, backlash, but I'd rather play a perfect game than a semi-polished game. You know what I mean?
So there's like a whole other side now to when delays happen, right? This is kind of not saying unforeseen, but it's not looked at as much. So, the game's already hyped, right? We already have the hype for the game, though. Like, okay, we just want to play the game because it looks fire, right? Right. Like, want to get our hands on it.
It looks incredible.
And you keep dangling it in front of us, just like, here you go. A little bit. Oh, almost got it.
I got you $1.
Yeah, I was about to say, I got you $1. Oh, almost had it, right?
Oh, you almost had it.
Gotta be faster than that, right? So like, and they keep pulling it back as the closer we get to it. And the thing that sucks about it is that what happens is now expectations start stacking more.
That is true.
Because now it's not like, yo, the game's fire, looks good, like, I can't wait to play it. Oh, they're delaying it. Oh, man, they're delaying it, but they're delaying it to make it good. So, like, now it's like the game was already going to be good. Now it's going to be even more polished. It's going to be better. So this game's going to kill. Okay, they're delaying it again. And it's kind of like a little bit of rationalizing, right? It's like, oh, man, this game's game of the year. Confirmed, bro. It's going to be sick. Like, we're going to be playing this until the PlayStation 6 comes out. It's crazy.
What happens when there's bugs in the polished version?
But then if it flops, man, Like,
dude, it's
like
gonna.
there's no returning from that. And but this is what they have to deal with. This is what CD has to like deal with
Right.
at the end of it. Like one part is like we want to make sure it's correct, but like the biggest thing I remember Cory Barlog, he was the director of God of War. He was just like, either, you know, imagine he said like, I spent 5 years of my time for this moment, right? For like when they did E3 and when they had like,
I remember he cried when they announced it. It was fantastic.
when he what is it, burnt the first CD, right? He was looking at it. He was just like, yo, 5 years. He's like holding it up, like, it's 5 years. And the worst thing that could happen is 5 years when I put it out there and people don't like it. Also as bad is 5 years I put it out there and people just go like crickets. It's like that. Those are those are the two. That's three. That's two of your choices. The third one is obviously it kills and it's like insane. It's great, and your 5 years of your team, your sacrifice, all that goes to work, and it's like adding time just amplifies that feeling even more. Where it's like, oh my god, I'm taking even more time when I've already announced stuff. It's wild, man. Being a game developer nowadays, hats off to
dude. It's definitely not easy. I mean, most gamers are spoiled, you know, so Bach in chat says, part of me wonders if this will end up like No Man's Sky.
I hope
I'll
not.
tell you why it won't be.
Okay.
I'll tell you why it won't be. First of all, No Man's Sky rushed their release. It was not ready. They rushed it, and they are not rushing Cyberpunk's release. So I don't understand why people keep thinking this game's, maybe I'm biased, and I'm sure I'm biased because I love CD Projekt Red, but I don't understand how people are comparing it to No Man's Sky when they've already delayed it twice. No Man's Sky did not get delayed. So like it's already like, you know what I mean? And not just that, but go ahead.
The caliber of developer too. You got to remember this wasn't no, you know, Hello Games was started, I think, what is it, like 2009 or something. It was like, you know, No Man's Sky was like maybe, I think, what is it, 8 years? 8 years into them being what they are. Like the caliber of developers between CD Projekt Red, what they have under their belt versus, you know, what Hello Games did, very, very different. Very, very different.
Yeah, I mean, the amount of money that's gone into it, like, yeah, exactly. And here's the thing. No Man's Sky was a game that did not have a storyline to it. This is literally a single-player game. I don't think you can compare the two. I really don't. I think if people are saying, I hope this doesn't happen, like, I hope, words, if this will end up like No Man's Sky, like, I honestly don't even know if that's necessarily possible, because they're just two completely different games. I don't know. I think CD Projekt Red is, dude, they have some of the best story writers on that team, and I just don't think I don't think this is going to be like No Man's Sky. I really don't. So, I mean, think about it. Go ahead.
Oh no, go on.
No, I don't know, man. You know, they're highly respected, and you know, like Good Griff in chat said, you know, like, they're good at storytelling, and I don't think that, like, the fact that they're actively, consciously delaying the game to make sure it's good, to me speaks volumes, saying like, we're not gonna give you guys a shitty product. We're gonna give you guys what we envision it.
That, as great as that is, and I'm like behind it, I just hope it's the last delay, only because I don't want another. I know it would never. I don't even have wood to knock. Actually, yeah. There you go. Knock on wood. You know, I would hope it never become, like, we never have another instance of Duke Nukem Forever, where that developer said the same thing. 3D Realms was like, we want to make it better. Oh,
yeah.
Quake 2 engine came out. We want to make it better. Oh, Unreal Engine. We're building it to make it better. It's like, dog, how many years went by? And besides the one guy that had the receipt from Falcon Land that was 10 years plus old, got everything he ever wanted, like, we got the most bland shooter ever that was never worth the wait. It was just impossible. And that was 10 years. And I know that's an extreme. That's a super extreme. But, like, even, you know, what was it? April, right? April was Cyberpunk originally. Now they went from April to September. Now September to November. So we're talking May, June, July, August, September, October. 7 months. 7 more months. Almost an entire year.
Yeah, I mean, but like, listen, if it takes another year to polish a game,
I don't know, man. I don't
if it
know.
takes another year to polish, this is funny because you get two opposite ends right here.
I don't know,
Like-
dog. Because I've seen it. I've seen it, dog. I've seen it. It is
don't
not
know
a
what
good
I've
look.
lived through.
Like it is not a good look all the time. I get it. But the other part is like I get it, but it's like,
Did you play The Witcher
yeah,
all the way through?
yeah.
Okay.
I haven't gone to Witcher 3 though.
So you have the same respect for CD as I do.
Absolutely. I have
Yeah.
respect for them. Yes.
Yeah, I'm
I'm not biased in any way, shape, or form. I'm just the practice is like, dude, it just this.
But like, let me
this-
ask you something.
This, ha-
Let me
this,
ask you
this
something.
just has some bad juju
Aren't
to
you-
it, man. This has some bad juju
Aren't you
to it.
sick? Aren't you sick of unfinished games being released? Aren't you sick of that?
Yes, but then there have been plenty of games that are complete and don't like have to get extended. That's the other side to it.
I think one reason, and I could be wrong here because I'm no expert, but I think one reason games get release dates, like the reason they launch release dates, is one for stocks and stuff. You know what I mean, like investors, right?
Mhm.
I hate
That's
you.
how Alex feels right now.
No, I'm not crying at all.
I know you're smiling.
I'm smiling back and forth, baby. But it's, dude, it's I don't know, man. Last of Us 2 got trashed for being delayed so long, and people were so salty that they trashed it on release. I believe that, you know. And this game they're going to trash on release too, but that's because I don't know, man. I don't see it being. I don't see it being bad. Maybe I'm in denial.
You might be
But-
that. I'm not joking. This is you right now. All right, like it sucks. I know.
I'm not quiet. No, dude, I've seen the gameplay trailers and they look insane.
I'm not saying they don't. It's just like you're wow. This really couldn't be any more you. You're like saying literally this. You're like, it's okay, but this is really how you feel.
But I'm not crying. I'm like, yeah, it's delayed. Like, hell yeah, let's go. That might be me if it's not as good when it launches, but like,
Oh, yeah.
I don't think CD Projekt Red would do us dirty like that. I don't think they'd do us dirty like that.
Yeah, we shall see. I'm sure they definitely are doing it out of the best intentions. It's just that you're just adding to the pile that's gonna be fighting against you.
Now,
so this is kind of like the last piece. Oh wait, you got something to finish off?
well, I was
finish
gonna
us off
say
with?
if
Go for it.
if 343 does this with Halo Infinite,
Oh boy.
and yeah, if they do it with Halo Infinite, I'm like, you know what, like, dude, they could delay it for a year for all I care right now. Like, delay it for a year, make it good. But if it's not good when it comes out, yes, I will be very salty. And maybe that's because I have a strong passion for Halo, but if Halo Infinite's not as good, dude, they're spending $500 million on that game. You played Red Dead 2, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, Red Dead 2 costs like, I saw something, it costs like 350 or 400 million to create. This is Halo Infinite's potentially going down in history as one of the most expensive games to produce ever.
Is it?
Better be freaking good, bro. 500 mil.
What is the most expensive game currently? Like I literally just came across this.
Here,
Most
let's-
ex-
to the
most
internet.
Yeah, most expensive game development. Game development. All right. Well, while you're figuring that out, I've got one last article to go through, which, funny enough, coincides with what was going on in chat earlier. Is yeah, Last of Us 2 has released. It released last Friday. No spoilers here. We will not be talking about story because I haven't played it, so I don't know the whole story. I have heard of some things, but we won't be talking story here. Just wanted to kind of zoom into Exhibit A.
I'll save my thing for the end because I got some answers.
Exhibit A here for everybody, just to see the latest meta score. On
Okay,
it.
so
Um,
I've heard, if you go on the internet,
Mhm.
I've heard nothing but slander for this game. Like, oh, it sucks. They try and instill certain values and it's just not good. It's a flop. And then I've talked to my friends that have played it. They're like, dude, this is probably one of the greatest games I've played in the last several years. Yeah, I don't get it. Totally.
Look at the numbers.
What's that? Polarizing answers here. Continue.
38,
I'm sorry.
39,000 people saying negative, 2,000 mixed or indifferent.
Can you believe that
22,000
though? I just
positive. I don't know right now. Because I haven't played the game, so I can't really form an opinion on it or really pick a side because I don't know all the info. But
Right.
just looking at just some of the basic stuff here that I'm reading about could be tropes to it. I know of some elements in the game, and I know some people uh, are not. A lot of people are just not privy to some of the things that are going on in the game and are just not liking
Yeah.
it. And I could see why, because remember, there's such a fan base for Last of Us, and it's been it's been touted as such a hype game, especially being one of the last, not last, but like a big release before the PlayStation 4 is done, right? It's like the big hurrah,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
PlayStation 5, right? Technically, Cyberpunk will be that too, but I'm just saying it's one of. Just initial impressions of it, I'm kind of like, it looks cool. The story is what needs to, like, oh my god, what developer said it? It's not even a developer. I think some influencer said it, or some YouTuber personality.
Probably me.
Was like, maybe, was like, The Last of Us is a story game. If the story is bad, doesn't matter if the gameplay is good, it is going to fail.
Yes.
If people don't like the story, the game is going to fail. And I'm wondering how much is actually valid, because I know of a couple of things that went down in the game that I'm kind of like, ooh, fans are not gonna like that. Like, and I'm being unbiased here. Like The Last of Us, it was great. It was a great game. I'm not as invested into it. So Last of Us 2, I'm like, everyone's like, freaking out, right? And I was kind of like, okay, cool, that's what's up. Yeah, I'll pick that up. But I wasn't losing my mind. I did that for God of War. That's different.
Right.
But
Right.
like, from what I've been reading and what I've seen bits of, I was just like, ooh, there's definitely an equation here that equals, oh shit, we might have fucked up. Like, that's like, that was the scientific term to it. So until I sit down and play the game and then start really diving in, it's just not looking good. But the reason I wanted to point out is just how skewed it is. Like, Metascore is putting it, like how you said, like, some people are like, yo, this is the greatest game ever, versus like twice as many people are just like, yo, garbage.
Yeah. It's insane. But I'll be dead up honest with you. Like, my one buddy, Scott, my old roommate, I literally, I'll finish this thought. I know loading's complete, but I'll finish this thought is that he is somebody who, if he's not, wow, I can't talk today. If he doesn't catch on to a game catch interest in the game within the first, like, I don't know, 2 hours, he drops it, right? And he texted me at 3 hours, he texted me at 7 hours into the game, and he texted me at like 12 hours into the game. He's like, dude, you need to play this game. It's awesome. I was like, okay, all right. So I don't know, man. I think this might be one of those games where it's like, you can't trust the reviews on it. You got to play it for yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is the worst game I've ever seen. Ruined. What, dude? I don't know, man. I think there's some. Oh my god.
I don't know if you peep. So like, this is what my man here wrote up. What is it? This game is a living statement that money doesn't. I'm just looking at who gave it a 4. This game is a living statement that money doesn't solve all problems. Graphics, great, truly impressive. They are incredibly well done. Story, trash. Don't know about. I'm complete. I'll be Switzerland. I'm neutral on everything else. Character development, trash. Character relationship development, trash. Gameplay, straight out of 2013. And honestly, all the game critics that gave this game 10 out of 10 are shooting themselves in the foot. Yeah, I'm wondering where this is. Oof, man, that is rough. I am wondering the actual, the strength of all these actual opinions. I don't know if it's mob mentality, like you said, like, oh, it's been delayed.
Yeah.
The fan base is pissed. They're gonna nuke this game when it drops. And I don't know if this is a case of that, or is like the game really just, because a game that a critic will say is good versus if it's actually technically good, it's not new. If it's trash, it's trash. Like, it is what it is. But it's kind of hard to think that, it's The Last of Us Part 2, right? They were sitting on pretty comfortably from the last game, like they knew what they were doing, and to flub it that hard. And I know I keep coming back to the God of War doc, but it's like, it's the truth. Like, the game, that was a risk for, say, God of War to do what they did, right? They went from, it was a revenge and about just killing everything, to now there's so much depth to Kratos, and he has a son,
Right.
and how is the because how is the fan base gonna deal with it? Because if you change anything, even a percentage of, like, you know, a percentage of a decimal off, people will not like it. They will riot, and it's facts, because, you know, change as human beings, change is, you know, weird to us. But like, imagine that on a community or a fan base of a game that they, you know, because they want you have to make true to the characters in it, and if you're not true to the characters, the fan base will just like gut you. And I'm wondering if that's what's happening here. We have to sit down and play the game, man. I can't form a real opinion until I sit down and actually go through it. I think it's like a 30-hour game.
Yeah, I can't wait until we start producing game review shows.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Once we get in the studio, that'll be fun.
Absolutely. But
I.
Oh man, that's just take anything and everything that we're saying right now. Take it with a grain of salt. This is just what the community have stated. Doesn't mean it's true. All right, loading bar. I know. You want to talk more. We're not gonna talk
we
more.
We should create two versions of this where
there we go.
Where it's like loading complete, but
like
just
wait a second.
dot.
Yeah.
Servers went down or something. But real quick before we finish, so I couldn't find a super up to date thing. Grand Theft Auto 5 cost 291 million, with 2020 inflation. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 cost 298 million.
Yep, sounds about right.
But what did The Witcher? The Witcher was 87 million. Wow, they did a lot for that. But anyway, yeah. So apparently, Halo Infinite is going down in record. Keep loading is going down in record for being the most expensive game developed of all time at 500 million. And I think somebody said Red Dead Redemption 2 was 350 or 400 million to develop. So I think that might be with marketing budgets, but I don't know if Halo is marketing. That's just crazy.
I'm going to assume so. Like, if you have to include marketing budget in it.
Yeah,
it's
you
a
would
big,
have to, right?
Because sometimes, or not even sometimes, it's common that some like marketing budgets will be bigger than your actual budget, because like maybe your game doesn't take as much to develop, but like you have to push it, right? Like, it's a give and take. But yeah, it's been an interesting weekend of news when it comes to gaming. Loading is complete. Thank you very much for hanging out, guys, for another episode of Loading Screen. Of course, we are live every Tuesday and Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure to check out New Game Plus Expo. That is happening right now on Twitch, because we're going to see some announcements there that at least I know I'm definitely going to be pulling up and talking about on Thursday. Hopefully get my hands on The Last of Us. I would estimate, even if I got my hands on it right now and really started playing,
you wouldn't be able to play it until
I wouldn't be able to finish it by Thursday, probably by Tuesday, and that's if I really didn't play anything else. But right now I am definitely playing other games like The Observer and such that I still have to finish. I'm actually I am like 99% sure I am like at the last level of it, like the last instance that I have to deal with. But
yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, I think Last of Us 2 is in a situation where you just have to play it for yourself. I mean, dude, the amount of times that this is the last thing I'll say, the amount of times that I've played games that people have like destroyed in the reviews that I've loved.
Yeah. I still defend DMC to this day. I still defend the reboot of Devil May Cry, and I am very much in the minority when it comes to that. But
yeah.
But between like one or two guys or whoever many people, I am definitely in the minority. It's kind of different here, where the majority is like killing it. There's definitely some skew there. But once again, thanks a lot, guys, for hanging out. We will be back on Thursday. In the meantime, we will not delay the show. We'll not delay it to next week. We're not CD Projekt Red. We'll be here. We'll see you guys then. Be safe.
Shout outs again to Mike and Ike and Zip Chair for helping make all of this possible.
Absolutely. We'll see you guys Thursday. Be safe and enjoy your days. Later.
See you guys. Peace.